I said, I went to that conference, everyone was like, social media what? I don't know exactly what to do here, so we started doing that for them. Some key words that you'll probably start hearing a lot is online community management. So you'll see that in job postings, and it may be for a big company, it may be for a small company, but what that means if you're the online community manager is that you're in charge of staying up to date on what's going on their Facebook page, tweeting for them, putting, managing some of the content on their blog. But when people, like what you all had said, if someone writes on your Facebook wall and you're a big company, you want to make sure that you respond, or even if you're a small company. Otherwise it looks like you've just put this up there because someone said you should, and you're not really even present. So it really should be a way that you're interacting. Another big thing that social media is changing, and it's changing a lot for us, is the PR. So if you're in a magazine, you have to realize that only the number of people that have seen that magazine is really your audience. So what we use that for is we have a couple of celebrity designers that we work with, and so we leverage their offline PR to online. So if someone is mentioned in Architectural Digest, we make sure that that goes out to a lot of really important blogs out there that may have readership that's even higher than Architectural Digest. So that they're just spreading the news even farther, and that's really helping to promote their brand and leverage that offline press. Plus, if you guys know with anything about search with Google, it's really good to have your name out there, especially associated with all the great things that you've done. So that's been another way. Then when we talk about building our expert status, I 100% feel that the reason why our company has been successful, and it's only 2.5 years old, is because we have used these social media platforms, and so people think that we're experts. I mean, we are experts. This is on video. It's really been a way that we can establish ourselves and show who we are, and that's how I've gotten to go and do speaking engagements. That's how I've been interviewed for books and interviewed for magazines, and there's no way that our company that's based out of Charlottesville, I think, would have that kind of reach if we hadn't used a blog, if we hadn't interacted with people on Twitter, if we hadn't had a Facebook page and was just out there interacting with our community in any way that we could. As I said, with your expert status, it's showing your value and opening doors to opportunities. And a big thing about this, and you guys mentioned with Facebook, kind of humanizing your company, making it seem like you're not just, this big brick wall, but you're actually people behind there. Most of our businesses are going to be relationship businesses. It doesn't matter if you're, just selling lumber. There are going to be other choices. If you're selling lumber, they could go down the road because they like the people better. So you want to make sure that you're really building those relationships, and that's one of the ways that these social media tools can help. And again, as I said, and this is kind of a common thread, is people work with the people that they like. And engage and interact with your audience and influencers. So your audience may be your market and the people that you actually will potentially be your clients, but don't forget about the people that are your influencers. So Ferrari, teenage boys love Ferrari, and they've realized that those are their influencers. Most teenage boys are not going to be able to buy a Ferrari until they're maybe 35 or maybe never, but they know that those teenage boys are going to be talking about them, are going to be really loving their brand, and putting them out there. And you never know if that's your influencing group. You never know how many of them have dads that are in the market for $400,000 sports car. So so we try and make sure that we're not forgetting about those people that may never be our customers or our clients, but may influence the decisions of people who are. Some of the qualitative benefits, I'll get more into the quantitative part because that is a little bit more challenging, but some of the benefits, I was interviewed in USA Today purely via Twitter because I was a CEO on Twitter. This was in May of last year. It was a really amazing opportunity, and it had nothing to do with our business. It was just one of the USA Today reporters interviewed 20 of us, and Steve Case and Jack Welch were two of the other CEOs, so I felt like I was in good company that I probably shouldn't have been in. But and the question was, what do you see as the evolution of capitalism? And we had to answer in 140 characters. And so that came out in USA Today. So you know, just getting that kind of press out there, that's really helped kind of establish ourselves in the industry. We have made, you know, quite a bit of money off of that, whether off of, not USA Today, but off of social media. So whether it be us actually doing online community management, or doing blogging for someone, or doing that online PR, or we've made a lot of contacts, and because people might follow us on Twitter or might be interacting with us on Facebook, we all of a sudden become people that they want to do business with, and so they either refer people to us, or they're actually, you know, become clients in and of themselves. And then I wrote a foreword for a book that's coming out in a week in our industry, and was interviewed for another book and a couple of magazine articles too. So a lot of these things wouldn't be possible if we hadn't developed our brand internally on Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn and all the different tools that we use. Then I was talking about some new business opportunities. We've gotten so many referrals that are outside of the design industry. We're launching a subsidiary company called Autopilot Media, and this is the same thing that we do for designers, but now we can do it across industries. So this never would have been possible if we hadn't been using social media for ourselves, and then also started offering social media services to other companies, and then they liked what we did, and so they referred us to friends of theirs, or, you know, business associates who happen to be, you know, realtors or builders, or people that it wouldn't make as much sense for them to work with Gibson Design Management, but it makes sense to start a separate company for that. Am I going too fast, or are you guys doing okay? You know, again, talking about how we've used the tools, we kind of covered this in another slide. Yelp is another one that I would pay attention to. If I were you all, that's a great way of getting information. Do any of you use Yelp? Okay. It's important for reputation management. So if you are a mechanic, or if you are a restaurant, any sort of service industry, you need to be, as a business, you need to be checking on Yelp to see if anyone's written reviews about you, good or bad. Because you want to make sure that if anyone's talking about you online, you know about it, and you can potentially respond, or you can make changes to fix that. Because there are a lot of opportunities, even when people are really unhappy, there are opportunities to make that right. I actually, Embark is, or was, the phone carrier here. They're now CenturyLink, and for 6 months in a row, our business bill was wrong. So I was calling, and we have a timer on our phone, so I was spending at least 35 minutes on the phone, either on hold or waiting for them to figure out what was wrong. So 6 months in a row. I was so pissed. And so I tweeted about it, and just said, I can't take this anymore. And someone immediately from Embark, which is now